Section 7. The tale of Petit Poucet, transposed into the sky, shows that images move easily from small to large and from large to small. The Gulliver type of daydream is natural, and a great dreamer sees his images doubly, on earth and in the sky. But in this poetic life of images, there is more than a mere game of dimensions. Daydream is not geometrical. The dreamer commits himself absolutely. In an appendix to C.A. Hackett's thesis on Le lyrisme de Rimbaud, under the title Rimbaud et Gulliver, there is an excellent passage in which Rimbaud is represented as small beside his mother and great in the dominated world, whereas in the presence of his mother, he is nothing but a little man in Brobdingnag's country. At school, little Arthur imagines that he is Gulliver among the Lilliputians, and C.A. Hackett quotes Victor Hugo, who, in Les Contemplations, shows children who laugh when they, quote, when they see frightful, very stupid giants overpowered by witty dwarfs. Here, Hackett has given an indication of all the elements of a psychoanalysis of Rimbaud. But although psychoanalysis, as I have often observed, can furnish us valuable information with regard to the deeper nature of a writer, occasionally it can divert us from the study of the direct virtue of an image. There are images that are so immense, their power of communication lures us so far from life, from our own life, that psychoanalytical commentary can only develop on the margin of values. This is immense daydreaming in these two lines by Rimbaud. Dreamy Petit Poucet, on my way, as though in prayer I said rhymes. My inn was under the sign of the Great Bear. What a good translation. It is of course possible to admit that, for Rimbaud, the Great Bear was an image of Rimbaud. Hackett, page 69. But additional psychological insight does not give us the dynamism of this outburst of image that led the poet to recapture the legend of the Walloon Poucet. In fact, I shall have to leave aside my psychoanalytical knowledge if I want to be touched by the phenomenological grace of the dreamer's image, of the great image of this 15-year-old prophet. If the Great Bear Inn is merely the harsh home of an ill-handled adolescent, it awakens no positive memory in me, no active daydream. Here I can only dream in Rimbaud's sky. The particular origin that psychoanalysis finds in the writer's life, even though it may be psychologically correct, has little chance of recapturing an influence over anyone. And yet I receive the message of this extraordinary image, and for a brief instant, by detaching me from my life, it transforms me into an imagining being. I'm thinking of something very specific. If you've ever been to the Art Museum in Chicago, the Art Institute in Chicago, they have a painting of Mate's, the Earth is a Man. It takes up the whole wall. It's one of the most visually striking. It's huge, it's so immense, but you can't break it down. It's so abstract, but there are very specific forms. Anyway, I know what he's talking about. And the immenseness. Like, literal, but also psychological immenseness. Anyway, it is in such moments of reading as this that little by little I have come to doubt not only the psychoanalytical origin of the image, but all psychological causality of the poetic image as well. Poetry, and its paradoxes, may be counter-casual, which is yet another way of being of the world, of being engaged in the dialectics of the passions. But when poetry attains its autonomy, we can say that it is a-casual. In order to receive directly the virtue of an isolated image, and an image in isolation has all its virtue, phenomenology now seems to me to be more favorable than psychoanalysis, for the precise reason that phenomenology requires us to assume this image ourselves, uncritically and with enthusiasm. Consequently, in its direct reverie aspect, the Great Bear Inn is not a maternal prison any more than it is a village sign. It is a, quote, house in the sky. If we dream intensely at the sight of a square, we sense its stability. We know that it is a very safe refuge. Between the four stars of the Great Bear, a great dreamer can go and live. Perhaps he is fleeing the earth, and a psychoanalyst can enumerate the reasons for his flight. But the dreamer is sure to find a resting place proportionate to his dreams. And this house in the sky keeps turning round and round. The other stars, lost in the heavenly tides, turn ineptly. But the grand chariot does not lose its way. To watch it turning so smoothly is already to be a master of the voyage. And while dreaming, the poet undoubtedly experiences a coalescence of legends, all of which are given new life through the image. They are not an ancient wisdom. The poet does not repeat old wives' tales. He has no past, but lives in a world that is new. As regards the past and the affairs of this world, he has realized absolute sublimation. The phenomenologist must follow the poet. The psychoanalyst is only interested in the negativity of sublimation. Oof. Okay, enough for now. See you soon. Happy reading.